Alright guys, we're headed down to the yard or the shop, which we're not in the shop yet. It's not Sunday yet. But we got some goodies to throw on the bike. I told you guys that I would give you some build content and whatnot. So we are going to be doing a little bit of weight reduction, and we're going to be throwing on the frame sliders, which honestly, frame sliders are the absolute most useless thing. Unless it's like a drop or something, but like they just look cool, so that's kind of why I'm doing it. And they're super lightweight, so they're not really adding any weight. I need the engine mounts anyway. They add maybe like an ounce. So we are going to be cutting some weight reduction in some other areas as well, which I'll show you guys. You guys know I like to get creative with the angle grinder. So you can see the steps down here and whatnot. I've adjusted them. I'm going to throw this one back on. Or actually I might not. We took some weight off of that, but I'll show you guys when we get to the yard. So enjoy the riding. Oh, I'm getting hit in the face with bugs. You know, it's a nice day unless you're riding a bike, because then it just gets really cold, and I am not dressed for the occasion. So I'm ready to start tearing this thing apart, and hopefully I don't screw myself and make it so that I can't get home, and then I have to get someone to come get me, which I wouldn't leave the bike behind. I wouldn't do that. I'd get her towed. Oh, 2.0 Quattro. I need to get me a freaking turbo car soon. Like, I'm just tired of being turbo-less. Check out that Dakota. I have one of those. Mine's a little nicer. Definitely mine's a little nicer. But that is pretty nice. You know, you give that thing a wash, there's some wheels and tires on it. I think it'd be pretty. I think I have the same headlights. Come on, come on, come on. I'm trying to go there. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna have to send it. Here we go. We are at, this is where the shop's at. You guys following the other channel, the main channel. This is just Hotshot getting up over the curb. There she be. I'm gonna turn that off so you guys can see her. So if you guys are gonna need anything, we got commercial, oh, you know what? But if you guys need anything, there we are. Number, I think that's 200. That's mine. October 1st. We're going to sign paperwork tomorrow. And try to keep it clean. But check that building out. That's mine. I don't know which one. It's the whole damn thing. I don't know why. Someone says 201, 202. It's a whole damn building. It's freaking huge. Come get your work done. I've been turning down a bunch of work, to be honest. So anybody I've been turning down, I'd like to get to them first. But here we are. All my tools are up in here. All my tools are here. The only thing I don't have is the motorcycle jack. I left that at home. So I'll get back to you guys on the other camera. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to flip my plate down. That way we're legal. And we're going to get out of here. Alright, so we got it here. What I needed to do, the reason I couldn't get these on, which I'll show you in a minute, I didn't have the right Allen head to put the new things in. So I was able to get this bolt out, this bolt loose. I took off. Let's just show you guys what we got going on here, all right? So we are gonna try for some weight reduction on this one. You guys can see this used to sit here and then had two other bolts, so there was 3 bolts. So we got rid of that. There's no brake lever, so we only really needed one side. Eventually, I'm gonna take this exhaust and make like a thing to go here. We got rid of this one. We're gonna chop these off eventually. We are gonna cut some weight reduction out of this, cut some brackets off here and there. that's part one. I got that. We're gonna try to get this up in the air. I wanna cut the rear brake bracket. That's what we were using as a spacer. I need to cut that, get some weight out of that. I'm not gonna worry about cutting anything off of the swing arm because we are getting a lightweight swing arm come soon. Like all of this is gonna get replaced. I tried taking off of this side, but unfortunately I need to have that bracket there, so we might just do a chop on that. Cut some weight out of it, but in the meantime, that has to stay. I'd like to make this even lighter, but unfortunately, these holes do not line up with those holes, as you can see on the other side. Some other little bits of weight reduction. I was looking, like I said, we're not gonna, like, things like that I'd cut off, but we don't have to. This already has the aluminum rear sprocket, and front sprocket's been replaced. These are only like 50 bucks. So if you guys are complaining about lightweight stuff, they're super freaking cheap. This is a 520 chain conversion. Dunlop Q5s, a really, really light tire. They don't last very long, but I will get the rest of the season out of these, so I'm not super worried about it. We have the lowering links already. We're gonna work on getting rear suspension and whatnot. We are doing a 750 swap. We have a titanium exhaust into, I believe it's stainless, but I'm not 100% sure. But the exhaust is super friggin' light. These things here are what we're putting on today. These literally weigh nothing, like absolutely nothing. So this is the driver's side one, which I'm gonna put them away. Eventually as well, I would like to get, you know, carbon fiber wheels would be nice to get down the road. Would like to get a lighter weight tank, one that kind of has like a better angle to it. So this tank is only temporary. We're definitely not keeping this. This color scheme is also not permanent either, but I do really like this. I think this honestly makes the perfect street bike, which is one reason I'm not getting a 1000. I will probably get a 1000 down the road if we ever decide to get into racing, but I think a 750 is a perfect street bike. Insurance is good. It's a lightweight bike. Gas mileage is a lot better. So just my 2 cents. Eventually I'd like to get carbon fiber front here too, but you guys can see that nice titanium exhaust that's getting really freaking dirty because I ride a lot. So I'll be the first to tell you, these things, they don't do anything. I mean, if you're gonna slide, you're wrecking your bike anyway. It doesn't matter. There's no magical pill to make these things survive a crash. So this one over here, this is the one the guy snapped off when he wrecked it. So I need to somehow get that out. I'm gonna try to get a pair of pliers and see if I can't twist it out. Hopefully it works. You guys will see on the other side, this one has a notch. So this one goes, bam, on that side. So I like the look of them. That's about where it stops. The chances of them protecting, the only thing I could see them doing is if you dropped it, that's where this part is a first contact, this would be a first contact, and this would be a first contact, and the exhaust. So realistically, I mean, they just look cool. Let's put it that way. Also, you can put your feet up when you're riding. All right, so I have finally, where is it? It's right in front of me, I bet. I finally retrieved it. Now I dropped it and I don't know where it went. Never mind, I found it. So, yeah, that kind of sucks. So somebody screwed the threads up. You guys can see in there. Somebody screwed the threads up something fierce. I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. Alright, I got it on. But because some fucking idiot, I'm gonna use that term lightly, decided that they wanted to make an extra hole. So I could not use the original hardware. I had to go and get my own bolt. So this thing kind of like aims back a little bit. So when we get the new motor, I'm gonna save the bolt and we will put the proper bolt back in it. Kind of ridiculous, but you know, that's just how it is. That's what happens when you buy used. That's what happens when you buy things that are that old. I might go the big country route on the front fender one of these days and start chopping up like the inside and whatnot and making it really, really light. Because he did, if you guys don't follow Big Country, I liked how he made his front fender as light as a carbon fiber one. You just had to cut out a lot of material. So we might end up doing that instead of getting the carbon fiber one. Maybe down the road we'll get a carbon fiber one, but you know, little things here and there. I think now it's time start cutting away at that. All right, so I put it up on the jack. We got the rear wheel sideways, and you can see this is the spacer that is for the rear wheel. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go grab a pair of vice grips and the angle grinder, and we're literally just gonna cut out this square piece right there. Try to make it as light as possible, shave a couple ounces. Every little bit helps, especially with a small displacement motor. Why go and buy something faster when you can make it fast? All right, so there you go. It's kind of hot, so this will just pick it up with this if it lets me. But this big chunk right here, we do not need. So that's a little bit of weight shaved out. Now all we left are with this square, so I'm going to take this little square and make it nice. Take a little flap disc to it, shave out as much as I can. All it needs to do is act like a spacer. And aside from paint, we got her all smoothed out, nice and smooth. A little hot, but you know, I don't need to sit here and shave this thing down to a perfect circle or anything like that. Like, you're just, at that point, we are just wasting time. But it was nice to at least get this little bracket that saves some weight. It's all little things. You don't have to do this. This is what I wanted to make a video on today. There you go. Cut that off. Now we're gonna break out the flap disc, clean that up. There you go. All right, next one done. Nice. It'll be nice when we get it powder coated. But there you go. Next one, I think this is the last thing we're gonna do today, is just chop off this little guy right here. So we had just enough battery on the one battery I had here to get pretty much all of that. We have a little bit of black left, but I mean, to hand feeling, it feels about smooth. So everything is all back together. Keep in mind, guys, doing one little weight reduction thing isn't gonna make or break your damn bike or your car or anything like that. Anybody that's serious into racing, any of that, whether it's cars, bikes, trucks, doesn't matter. Weight reduction is key, and it's every little thing that you add up. From weight reduction here, different tire, different sprockets, different wheels, different swing arm, this little piece cut out, all these little odds and ends here. Yeah, I know I'm missing a bolt. I got titanium bolts. All these little things, 750 swap, a little bit of nitrous. I am planning on running nitrous next year just in case I need it. In the meantime, most of this is gonna be street bike. I would like to drag this bike at the same time, so that's where all these little pieces of advantages are gonna come in. So I'm gonna get this aligned, torqued back down. So I will say too, keep this in mind. The guys that think this stuff's a waste of time, this is not going to make a difference. Like, you're not gonna feel this, right? All the little stuff that I did today, I'm not gonna feel that. It's when you take every little friggin' thing and add it all up, like cutting these little nubs off and getting a different swing, it's all gonna make a difference. It'll be noticeable once you've done everything. You know, there might be some things that make more difference than another, like, let's say, getting rid of a brake rotor or get rid of any rotating mass 7 times whatever the weight is basically what you're taking off. So if you take off like 3 pounds of spinning mass, that's like 21 pounds you took off a bike. And these things, it makes a big difference from what I've noticed, especially in your grudge racing. There's been a lot of guys arguing about that shit, but that's what I like to do. So we're gonna run it. I don't have to justify it. I had a good time today. I am gonna get this thing back down, drive it home, and then we'll see if the weather's nice enough to take it tonight. So we got more for you. Keep in mind, things like this, yeah, the engine cover's kind of like shitty. This engine we're not using, otherwise I'd be painting this. I'm not worried about that. So all the little things, we are gonna be doing some powder coating. We're gonna be doing, forks are getting rebuilt over the winter. The wheels are getting powder coated. I'm not getting carbon fiber ones this year because they're like 3 or 4 grand, and I'm not putting that money out on this thing until maybe next season. So we're gonna get as much done with the swing arm. We're gonna get everything powder coated. This engine cover, I'm pretty sure works. Same thing with the 750, so hopefully I can bolt that up to the 750 motor because they should be pretty similar, pretty the same. So same thing with this. This will get painted on the new motor, all that stuff. We're gonna get the factory bolt in. So I'm gonna get this thing off the stand. Now we're gonna ride home. Just keep that in mind, guys. She sound good. It's that titanium 1000 exhaust. Gonna go home, wash my hands. All right. That dinosaur. I think I picked up a tree. Yep, I did. Called it. Alright, let's go check out these modifications. See if we notice any differences. The only thing I should really notice, I'd like to say, would be the right foot position, because I got rid of the bracket that was behind, saved a couple ounces. Every little bit helps, guys. I could take my backpack off, I could shave some weight. You know, I gotta make up for all the weight that I've been putting on. So I gotta get up here, hit the gate, and then we'll hit the highway. It was easier to shut it off than it was to find neutral. Downside with having a bike that's basically made to go in a straight line is that you can't take speed bumps. Scrape that header. Kind of nice having my little side pieces back. I can put my foot up. Polises are out today, so we're just gonna do, like, you know, nothing super crazy. We're just gonna get on the highway and just have a little bit of fun, you know. I still gotta fix this brake. You guys know I'm a bitch about this in every single video. Look at that Altima, Midnight Sir. But yeah, so I gotta, like, that's all the way maxed out on 6, and like that shit hits my. Definitely need to get a new hose again, because I didn't fix it right the first time. But you always got to get a good test drive. I'm gonna save it. Woo! All right. Everybody, like I said, we're not gonna do anything crazy. Just gonna chill. You know, it's a nice day out. Really test out these modifications. Make sure the wheel's not gonna fly off. You know, that's all we're doing.